Good morning everyone. In this video, we'll discuss about the improvement phase in DMAC methodology. This improve phase is the most important phase in Six Sigma improvement effort. During this phase, the various solutions are tried out to reduce or eliminate the variations in the process and achieve the Six Sigma goals. There are several steps in this improve phase. The first step is screen potential causes. During analysis phase or analyze phase, the team identify and lists few potential causes which are considered to be responsible for the variation in the process performance. In analysis phase, the team what they collected. It does not mean that all the causes are essential to be eliminated. So it is very important to go through these causes more carefully from the point of view of eliminating them and thereby reduce the variation to the minimum. While listing this or screening these potential causes, the care should be taken and eliminate or keep the separate causes while consider some of them are major causes or some of them are minor causes. So you should take care or make separate list of these major and minor causes. This is about the first step, screen potential cause. The next step is prioritize the cause. During the screening of the causes or during the listing of these potential causes, the team identified some of the causes as critical which need to be attended first. So it is necessary to identify which one to go first. Otherwise, the team is likely to spend the more time in eliminating a cause which may not a root cause of the major variation. So in prioritizing the cause, you should take care that which is causing the more variation. Next, before proceeding to eliminate the cause, it is necessary to prioritize this cause. The best way to prioritize is to identify the effect of all the causes and analyze what was contribution of maximum to the problem to occur. So in this step, you can use a Pareto analysis, that is 80-20 principle. You can do that in this step. And the next step is brainstorm the possible solution. In this, first the team leader should arrange the brainstorming session where all the team members and some of the invitees and those who are interested in the project, they can come out with a possible solution to eliminate the root cause to reduce the variation in the performance. During the brainstorm, every member should be remind of a central question. That means the team leader will pose a central question and the participants should come out with the solution. That is brainstorming session. We'll come back to it later again. And the next step is to prioritize the possible solution or prioritize this possible solutions. Here, during the brainstorming sessions, a number of possible solutions are suggested by the team members and invitees. They suggested so many solutions for that. So it is a waste of time if all the solutions are attempted at the same time. So we should prioritize these possible solutions first. Which should the team go first? So for this, there are several tools. Important are multi-voting, suitability matrix and affinity diagrams. We'll come back to that in the tools. And the next step is to prepare revised a process map and value stream map. In the measure phase, we have done the detailed process map. So after prioritizing all the solutions, some of the operations will be shuffled. So again, you should prepare a revised process map in this step. And the next step is to define operating tolerance. Here, the variation in the performance of the process is always measured from the customer specified tolerance. The proposed solution, when implemented, must not only meet the customer specified tolerance but also exceed the requirement. The purpose of defining the improved tolerance is to measure whether the proposed solution meets the required tolerance level or not. Here you will check whether the solution is meeting the customer requirement or not. You will check here. Next step is to carry out correlation and regression analysis. Prior to implementing a solution based on the relationship between the independent variable and a corresponding dependent variable, it is necessary to check whether any correlation really exists between input and output variables. This correlation is a measure of relation between two or more variables. The correlation coefficient ranges from -1 to +1. That means the -1 represent perfect negative correlation and +1 represent perfect positive correlation and 0 represent lack of correlation. This correlation coefficient is denoted by R and it is the measure of the strength. The closer R to +1 indicates strong positive correlation. Similarly, -1 indicates strongest negative correlation between two variables. In general form, the regression line is y is equal to a plus bx. Here b is the slope of the line and a is y intercept. In this situation, the variable y, that is dependent variable, is the characteristics being studied and x is independent variable, is the value of input. Prior to carrying out the calculation R, the team has to prepare a scatter diagram whether any reasonable correlation exists between input and output. Here the correlation value 0.9 to 1 suggests it is very strong, 0.7 to 9 strong, 0.5 to 7 moderate. This information cannot be considered as fully dependable, and Six Sigma team needs to carry out other tests before arriving to the final conclusion. Next step is to carry out FMEA. FMEA is failure mode effect analysis. FMEA is to identify in advance as to what would be the effect of the process change. The analysis carried out by the team so as to assess failure mode, causes of the failure, what is the effect of the failure, frequency of the failure, severity of the failure, chance of detecting the failure in advance. The result of analysis is expressed in RPN, that is risk priority number. We will come back to FMEA again in the tools used. And the next step is to carry out DOE. Next step is to pilot the solution. After FMEA, the team should finalize the solution and this solution must be pilot run. It is a very important step. Prior to the fully implementation of the process change, you should pilot run the process. One thing, before carrying out the pilot run, all the preparatory work must be completed. Otherwise, simply rushing with the pilot run may create a mistake which in turn will make team nervous and scared. In the next step, you should carry out DOE, that is design of experiments. In this design of experiments for trying out different solutions. This is a statistical method where it is designed as to how many times to carry out the test and in what sequence we will test in DOE. Planning is the most important process of DOE process. The analysis is straightforward and takes about 10 to 20% of time for the entire experiment. The purpose of this DOE is simply to cause an informative event that can be observed here. Again, we will come back to this DOE in the tools used. In the next step is to estimate the savings. When team finalize all the solution is ready, the team finalize the solution which is expected to give consistent result. The next step is to estimate the savings for next 3 years. What will be the saving if you implement this solution? That they will check here. And next step is to finalize the process change. After finalizing the solution and calculating the savings, the team should arrange the meeting of all the stakeholders of the project about the revised process to be implemented in the workplace. One thing, the most important thing is no changes are allowed in this after this step. Because since the team has already run a pilot program and carried out DOE, the new process has to support by a revised process and standard operating procedure. And the next step is to impart training in the new processes. Here, before implementing the full solution, it is very necessary to train the person involved in the implementation of the revised process. If the personnel are not trained prior to the implementation, it is likely to create a lots of confusion in the operations. Training is very critical since this will make employees to learn in advance the new process, and if there is any initial difficulties, the same is sorted out in the prior implementation. This is about imparting the training in the new process. Next step is to implement the solution in full. After the training of the employees and vendors, it is necessary to inform the customer about the proposed changes in the process. Full implementation of the process change is carried out only after informing the customer regarding the process change. It is worth sharing some of the silent features of the change with the customers. It is important that all concerned understand and sequence of implementation and agree for the first frame or time frame. This is about implementing the solution. That means after the training, you should inform the customer that we are changing these processes. And the next step is to monitor and collect the data. During the first week of operation of the revised process, the team must focus to stabilize the operation and also monitor the progress. Ensuring stability is by means of monitoring and recording the inputs and outputs, making sure that the output variables are consistent with the planned parameters. The team may make use of the run chart to monitor the process output. In case the team finds some variation in the process, the team investigates and eliminates if there is any special causes. And the last step is to calculate and confirm Six Sigma performance level. In the measure phase, you will calculate the Six Sigma level. So, after implementing the solution, what is the number of defects you are getting? You should go for